to refresh their pages. Refresh your pages. And it looks like we are off and running. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. It's 2016 and this is our very first live interview of 2016 on diabetes. And we are kicking it off right with a talk about keeping our New Year's resolutions and creating good, healthy, happy habits with Dr. Jody Stanislaw, the master of healthy habit creation. Jody, the camera is on you. Thank you so much for being here today and for being our first guest for the year.
I'm thrilled, Emily. We did this, I think we did it exactly a year ago. I think
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So for folks who are not yet familiar with who you are and what you do, please tell us all about yourself.
Okay. Well, I am a type 1. I've had type 1 since I was 7. And I always lead with that because I feel like that gave me way more experience than going to med school. I actually had a fabulous week when I was diagnosed. I was at Seattle Children's Hospital, and they are just a fun hospital. You know, I got to run around in the hallways and make arts and crafts. And back then it was just one shot a day. You know, they're like, it's your one shot. So I hold my mom's hand and did my one shot, and then I got to play all day. And so it was that week that I said, you know, I really want to help people feel better because I had so much fun that week. And it was that week that I decided I want to make a difference in the world. So then, of course, life happens, and it took me till I was 35 to graduate from med school, but I finally did that. And now I have an amazing, amazing practice. I work with type 1 diabetics all over the country via phone. And I work on all levels because that's what I always wanted going to my endo appointments. I want somebody to talk about nutrition and mental health and diabetes and blood sugars and exercise, and that's what I do. That's what I do. I get to work with type 1s all over the country. And
so specifically, Jody, do you just work with type 1s or with anyone who has any type of diabetes?
I have non-diabetic patients as well. I mean, I was trained as a primary care physician. You know, I live in Idaho and I have local patients, and there aren't any local patients that have diabetes, but my practice, I don't market my non-diabetic practice, and I am all over on Facebook, and, you know, I have a newsletter, and so the people that hear about me and that keep growing is my diabetes circles. But yeah, I have type 2s, I have LADA, I have MODI, I've got, you know, we all need help with blood sugar, regardless of what the title is.
Right, no kidding. So
let me plug this. Do you know this drink? It is so good, so low carb. It has barely any carbs in it. Well, it has barely any carbs in it, and it's sweetened with coconut water, and it's got probiotics in it, so it's really good for our digestion, which we all need help with. And it takes a break. I'm not a fan of sugar-free sodas, and of course we don't drink sugar things. So to find like a healthy, no sugar drink, this is like my love. This, and there's lots of different flavors. So you have to look at the label because some of the flavors have a lot more carbs than others.
Oh, that's good to know.
FYI, yeah. Anyways. FYI.
Tip number 1, so if anybody's, since we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions, if anybody's resolution is to, like, I don't know, cut down on soda or stop using processed sugar substitutes, stop consuming a lot of diet stuff and the chemicals that go into those things, here's a tip for that.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of stevia, by the way. You know, I drink tea all day long, and I do sweeten it with stevia. And actually, I've been making hot cocoa lately with, I warm up my coconut milk, and then I put just raw cocoa powder. It has no sugar in it. It's just raw cocoa powder. And then I warm that up on the stove and put some stevia in. And it's creamy hot cocoa with no carbs because my milk has no carbs in it. The cocoa might have like 2 carbs, 3 carbs, something like that, but it's good.
Yummers. Okay, so in your practice with people who have diabetes to help them manage blood glucose, tell us how that practice works. What do you do?
Well, so we're going to tangent off a little bit from the how to get it right. We're just, okay. Well, so anybody can have a free consult with me. So that's, people hear about me from this or from Facebook or my newsletter. And you go to consultwithdrjody.com/type1. And then you go there, and Dr. Jody's DRJODY. So consultwithdrjody.com/type1. And you will fill out a questionnaire because I want to know where you're at. Everybody comes to me with, you know, they just got diagnosed. They've been diagnosed 30 years ago and they're on burnout. They're diagnosed 10 years ago and they can't find a good doctor, whatever it is. So you find me, and then we have a free call. Just, I'll call you, we'll chat, I'll find out what your needs are. And then I kind of get a big overview of like, how's your diabetes? How's your mental health? How's your diet? Do you exercise? Are you happy? All of those things are important to me when I work with patients. And then the most popular program I have is I work with patients for a minimum of 3 months on a weekly basis. And so I don't have set modules. I don't have it's your plan. We go with whatever your priority is. Maybe your sugar level is good, but you don't like the way you eat and you're tired all the time. Or maybe you're just like, all I need is to get my A1C down. That's my priority. Or my mental health. I'm a nutcase. My mental health is a priority, I wear lots of hats. I wear counselor, diabetes, and I'm taking the CDE exam in 2 months. So I'll also have my CDE. So that will be good too. I mean, I feel like it's just good to have those 3 letters after my name, so I'm getting it. But it's a private, individualized health coaching, life coaching, diabetes, wellness, counseling, everything program.
So super holistic.
Yeah.
Sort of address whatever a person needs at that moment. For folks who are watching, I actually did some consultations myself for my own diabetes and health and all of that with Dr. Jody, and it was wonderful. I really, really highly recommend it because I really liked personally that really holistic approach, because it wasn't just, when we go to our normally when we see folks in healthcare, they have just a real specific bent. Your endo will handle some stuff and not other stuff, and a therapist will handle some stuff and not other stuff. So it was really, but all of these things come together when you have diabetes. Obviously, my mental health is affected by how my blood sugar is doing and vice versa. And so to work with somebody who has knowledge about both of those things and the interplay between them, to me, was incredibly useful. So I love that your practice is really holistic in that way.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Well, it stemmed out of my own 30 years of going to endocrinologist appointments, kind of feeling like they were a waste of time. I'm like, unless you want to help me with everything, I don't need help with my A1C anymore. Like, my A1C has been good for so many years. I'm sick of coming to you. Like, if that's all you've got for me, then I'm, so I'd start, going on some emotional rant, and the doctor would be like, I gotta go.
Right. Endos generally don't have time to cover that, and it's not their specialty, so it's not the right person to go to for the emotional rant.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's so important, especially if our numbers are not good. I just was on the phone with a patient in California for an hour, and the patient was like, I feel bipolar. My relationships aren't going well. Well, her A1C was 9.8, and I said, well, of course. You're not bipolar. I'm like, you have high blood sugar levels. That's different. Oh, and I'm low. Apparently, Dex just said I was low, so I didn't want to be high for our talk. So,
that's interesting. I always shoot high during the interviews so that I won't go low and need to eat. Although people who watch the interviews can attest, I very frequently do go low during interviews and need to eat something. So while you're doing that for a moment. So we wanted to talk today, this being the new year, just not even quite a week into 2016. We wanted to talk about resolutions, and of course, it's always a time, even for folks, I think, who don't really subscribe to the idea of New Year's resolutions per se. I think for a lot of us, the beginning of a year feels like, here's a good time marker for me to pay attention to in terms of what I would like to change in my life, what I would like to change in my habits. Do I want to redouble my efforts in a particular area around my health or around other things? You know, do I want to learn a new skill this year? And now's the time to start to do that. So we wanted to talk about creating those healthy habits and maintaining them, because of course that's the real trick. I think I heard at some point, maybe it was last year even, a statistic about gym memberships and how they skyrocket in January and then plummet in February and March, because it's people saying like, this is my year to really get fit. And it's so hard to maintain. Habit change and habit creation is such a challenge. And of course, for people with diabetes, there are a lot of habits that, that we need to work on creating and maintaining. More than the average bear, I would say, even more than the average. So you have a whole program around this. And all right, are you
I'm ready.
You ready to talk? You swallowed?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, let's talk about the Be.Awesome program.
Yes, the Be.Awesome. So I love acronyms. I have lots of acronyms. Like I have the I'm Free formula to live a happy, healthy life with diabetes, and I'm Free is an acronym. Be.Awesome is an acronym, and it just makes, you know, learning more fun, I think. So the Be.Awesome formula is the 9 principles of why patients that work with me are very successful at making healthy changes in their life. Because obviously to get your life together, be it with diabetes or not, it's all about your daily habits. You know, daily habits are everything. And so the 9 principles in the Be.Awesome formula are what carry people through my 3-month program. So I integrate them in how I work with people in the 3 months. So I'll go down each letter. So for people that like to take notes, you'll want to take notes. Okay, now they aren't in the order of priority though. So like the first one of the B in Be.Awesome is not the most important, and the last one. So they're kind of, you know, just because they fit in those words, that's where they fall. But I want to also agree with you that this really isn't about New Year's resolutions. This is about how to have healthy habits in your life. And I don't care what month it is, you know, it's a formula for how to really keep your daily actions in alignment with what makes you feel great physically and mentally. You know, I'm proud of myself. I'm eating well. I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions. I am a fan of talking about this in January, because that's when it's the whole energy of like, okay, let's do this. You know, if you're watching this video as a recording in July, hey, let's do this. It's just as good of a time, you know. But I love January because just like a store, you know, a grocery store or a retail store, they have to close and take an inventory. I don't know how many times a year. But you have to just kind of take an inventory of like, okay, how am I feeling every day? You know, do I have dreams that eat at me that I'm not carrying out? Am I lamenting about my body and doing nothing about it? Am I proud of my food choices? Am I getting enough sleep? You know, does my A1C make me smile? You know, this is a time to really kind of assess all of those things, and then use the Be.Awesome formula for health. For, you know, whenever we're on a journey, like all my patients, we're on a journey together. People come to me because they're not happy, they're here. And then like, I want to get here, you know? So now you have to figure out how to fill that journey. And okay, so here are the 9 steps that help you get from, I don't want to feel like this anymore, to I'm so proud of who I am and I feel great. Because that's the journey, right? That's why I can work with non-diabetics, because everybody has this journey, right? Okay, so B, the letter B stands for baby steps. So let's say you haven't worked out at all. Emily, I know you just danced all night last night, so that doesn't apply to you.
Good.
You taught other people about dancing, right?
Yes.
So, and I've always loved exercise, but there's a lot of people out there. Let's say your thing is exercise. So the first question I ask is, how much exercise did you do last week? And someone will say none, right? And so then they'll say, and I said, what's your goal? And they're like, I want to work out every day this week.
That is not a baby step. I already know the answer to this one. That is a really, that's too big a step to make in one fell swoop.
Yeah, so think of babies. You know, all you parents that are listening, look at your baby walk, right? They take a step, they fall down, they take a step, you have to hold their hand, they have to hold the table. It's the same thing with us adults. We think we're so smart, but you have to take a step and then you'll fall down. You have to get some support and you have to stay consistent and committed. So that's how I help people in my 3-month program is I'm going to hold your hand. You're going to take one step. It's just baby steps. That's why New Year's resolutions don't work, because people start with the end in mind, right? I'm going to work out every day. And then they start their day one. No, you don't. A baby isn't going to go from crawling to playing soccer. So same thing with us. So baby steps, just make it small. Like, okay, let's say you eat a horrible breakfast every day. Okay, so let's do a healthy breakfast 2 days this week, and you write it in your calendar. On Wednesday, I'm going to eat a healthy breakfast, and on Friday, I'm going to eat a healthy breakfast. Okay, great. But of course, there's more to the baby steps, right? So that's why okay. So the next letter is E. The E is expect imperfection. So it's okay. The baby is going to fall down all the time, but you just get back up. So if you said you're going to go to the gym and you go to the gym, you don't then call me and tell me what a failure you are. You just recommit. Okay, I didn't go yesterday. I'm going to go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to expect failure. It's like trying a new sport. If you pick up a new sport, you're not going to be good at it for a long time. You're going to miss the ball. You're going to drop the racket. You're going to, whatever. You're going to fall down on your skis. So imagine like you're learning a new sport, and your new sport is your new habit. So be kind to yourself. Just be like, oh. So, but the next letter is A for accountability. And this is the key piece. We always blow ourselves off. You're like, oh, I'm going to go to bed at 10. And I'm like, oh, I didn't go to bed at 10. But if you have somebody, you're like, I'm going to go to bed at 10 tonight, or you have your mate, or you have your friend, or you have me, you are 10 times more motivated to go to bed at 10. Right? Because you're not doing it alone. So you don't want to do it alone. Coaches, for example, Olympic athletes, they are phenomenal athletes, but all of them have a coach, right? Could you imagine every single day waking up that they actually wanted to go to practice? Probably not, but they went because they had accountability. So, and people will call me. Just today, I had a patient say, oh, I know what I need to do. I just never do it. So don't beat yourself up about that. We are meant to be stronger when we have support. It's hard. It is harder to do things on your own than when you have support. And it's not because you're weak. Olympic athletes are not weak people. They're smart people. That's why they get support. Yeah, it's the synergy. It's like, I could do this by myself and I can do this by myself. But if I have partnership, then I can get here. Then I can do this. But I couldn't get up here by myself. You need that, right? Yeah. So those are the first three.
Those are the first three, and already in our chat room we have folks talking about how important these first three things are and how it really speaks to them.
Good.
And some folks confessing about time off of exercise and a desire to get back to it, and so this is helpful.
Good. Yeah. So baby steps. Just make it small. Expect to fail. I always say even a $1 million jet, they're flying from point A to point B, and even jets don't fly straight, right? There's a weather pattern, or there's a mountain range, this is the journey, and so because we're going to get out here, which a lot of people would think be out of line. It's not. It's part of it's just how think about when you drive from San Francisco to LA. You don't drive in a straight line, so just because we're out here. And so this is the key piece. If we get out here, it's not a big deal. We just come back. What the problem is, people get out here, they call themselves a failure, they judge themselves, they tell me how they can never make any change, and then now they're gone. They're not even near that. So just know that you're going to fall off, and just you come back on. No big deal. The baby doesn't get mad at itself every time it falls down. It might cry a little bit, but whatever, it gets back up. It's all right. It doesn't say, I'm such a bad baby, I can't do this walking thing. I'm done.
And I will never, ever play soccer.
Yeah, right. I mean, thank goodness babies don't have adult minds, right? Could you imagine all the therapy that they'd be in? I'm a failure. I can't walk. I just fall down all the time, every day.
Well, and I think a piece of this that we're getting to right now is also that that self-judgment derails us completely. It's not productive. And so when, as you say, if the goal is here and I'm winding my way there and I get over here and I go, I suck and I'm never going to succeed at this and I've tried so many times and I never, then that will be a self-fulfilling prophecy because I've just derailed myself with my own personal judgment and all of this stuff. So I love this concept that you understand that the path is windy, and that's how it is supposed to be. It's not about being a failure or not being somebody who's good for their word or any of that.
Exactly. And I just told the patient this morning, and I said, diabetes is practice for those of us that want perfection. We go up, we go down. Let's be okay with that. I mean, within range, of course. I mean, I don't want you up and down in 2s and 300s all the time, but it's just, that's life is messy. Diabetes is messy. And yet there is what I call the 80-20 principle. Our goal is to be online 80% of the time. So 80% you're kind of near here, but there's a few times that you go out here, And so I call 80% the new A+. Because 100% is nuts. Who can do that? You're going to go nutty. You're going to have anxiety and nobody's going to want to be around you. If you're like, I can't go to the gym even though it's my mom's 50th. I can't go to my mom's 50th birthday because it's gym day. Who would do that? Right? Don't go to the gym today. It's your mom's 50th birthday. Come on. So 80%, you can't be saying, well, I didn't go to the gym today because I wanted sushi. And I didn't go to the gym yesterday because, I hurt my toe. Well, I didn't go to the gym yesterday because I didn't do my laundry, so I didn't have any clean clothes. Okay, that's not 80-20, people. That's 20-80, So, but there's 80%. Shoot for 80%. Feel great about your 80%. It's the new A+.
Well, so now I have a question. How do you, or is this something that you do with folks, is help them ascertain sort of what's a good reason to miss gym day as an example, and what's an excuse? Because sometimes it can be hard to tell. Sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
For example, for me, I'll just use a personal example. I go to the gym early in the morning, and some days I wake up and I don't feel well, and I think I'm going to stay in bed because I don't feel well. And other days I wake up and I don't feel so great. I don't tend to feel that great in the morning. My blood sugar does a lot at night. Other days I wake up and I don't feel great, and I think, no, you know what? I need to go to the gym. I'm going to power through it. And it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Am I making excuses sometimes, or is it good reason? Is this a piece that you help people try to suss out?
Yes. Well, this is also exactly why I work with people for several months. Is because you have to look a day to day. Yeah, I can't look at it day to day. But if you're telling me you don't want to get out of bed 6 out of 7 days, then we've got work to do there. But if you're like, here, 20% here or there, a couple days this month or whatever it is, it's really about taking a step back and looking at the big picture, number one. But number two, also, how do you feel? I slept in a few days this month. It's the end of the month. I don't care because I feel great. I'm proud of myself. I didn't make every single workout day, but I feel good. So you ask yourself, I feel good. I have patients that are 60 years old. They just want to go on a 20-minute walk once a day. They don't want to do maybe 4 days a week, maybe 3 days a week. And they're like, you know what? I walked 5 days this week for 20 minutes. I feel amazing. And that's great. I will never put my patients into a box and say, you have to do this, you know? So I like to empower people to listen to you. Like, well, do you feel good about how much you did this month? That's your 80-20. Like, you should not do it perfectly. You should kind of fall off a few times, but you should feel really proud of what you did, you know? And 80% allows you to feel really proud. So 80-20 is different for everybody, you know?
Cool. So we've gotten through BEA.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Okay. So W. This is actually should be the first one. So I should change it to like We Awesome. So W is the first letter. We awesome, M. We awesome.
Maybe it's We Be Awesome. We Be Awesome.
We Be Awesome. We Be Awesome. Yeah, I'll just have to come up with another W for the lower W. Which would just be like, woohoo! You know, I could do that.
So what does this W stand for?
Okay, so if you're on a journey, you have to know where you want to go. Like if you want to go on vacation, the first thing you do isn't, research hotels because you don't know where you're going yet, right? So the first step is, what do you want? What do you want? Some people want a lower A1C. Some people want weight loss. Some people want, I just want to be happier. Some people want, I want to feel better in my body. And so at the start of every single appointment with my patients on the phone, the first question I ask them every week is, what do you want? What do you want? I worked at this holistic health spa in Thailand with rich and famous people from all around the world. And I started asking my patients that question. And they didn't know. I'm like, are you happy? No. What do you want? I don't know. And I was like, wow, people don't know what they want.
Well, where do you go from there? So if you have a patient now who truly says, I know that I don't feel really happy or really satisfied or really great in my life, but I can't really boil it down to like, this is what I want. How do you approach that with someone?
Well, so do you want to pretend that you're an unhappy patient?
Sure.
Okay. So why are you unhappy?
I kind of just feel, I'm doing role play now, everybody, so this isn't necessarily true to me. I just kind of feel generally, I don't know, kind of physically crummy and emotionally kind of meh.
Okay. So what is the opposite of that?
I guess the opposite would be to feel physically really good, like energetic and strong, and emotionally really happy, like actively happy, as opposed to just like, yeah, I guess I'm fine.
Right. Perfect. So that's how I start.
Seems like what I want then.
What? That
seems like maybe I just said what I want.
Oh, well, we can talk about it. Yeah. People will, everybody, we all know what we don't want. Everybody tells me, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't like that. And if they don't know what they want, and I'll say, okay, what do you want? They're like, I don't know. Then I'll ask them to flip that over. The opposite of what you don't want, because that's what you do want. Nobody's picked up the coin and flipped it over yet, though. So I help people do that. Wow.
That was really, I'm really impressed. I thought I was giving you a real stumper of somebody who's just sort of apathetic and.
Well, you know what? This is, what everybody wants. Everybody wants to feel good and be happy.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
I haven't found anybody who doesn't. Right?
Okay, so we got to W.
Now, having said that, sometimes I'll give people a writing exercise, just without having your pen stop for 1 or 2 minutes, set your timer, and just write what you want. And you might have to sit there with, not know, but like, okay, I want to sleep. Just start with the easy stuff. I want a cheeseburger. Go ahead, fine, write it down. I want to be 100 more often. Okay, I want blue sky. You just start writing things that you want, and more stuff will come out, just I want to be in love. I want to feel good. I want, like, just start. Don't, because some people are like, I don't know what I want. I have to think about that for a long time. I'm like, no, don't make this a homework, assignment that feels like a dissertation. Everybody knows what they want. Everybody does. I mean, just write little things. Don't make it a big, like, I don't know. I've been thinking about getting my PhD, but I don't know if I really want that. It's like, I want, a Kavita. That's what I want right now. That's what I want. Okay, good. Write that down. It's just getting that muscle, because our muscle of what we don't want is really strong. Oh, I don't want to be high. I don't want to feel tired. I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to eat crap. We all know what we don't want. So I help people, what I do want, that's a really important muscle. It's just a habit pattern. All of our thoughts are habit patterns. And the more we think a one way, the more it gets automatic. And so I help people think more positively, and that is something I bring up every appointment with people, depending on. But yeah, knowing what you want helps you get there. Because if you don't know what you want, you won't get there. That's simple. So that's W.
We like W.
Yes.
And then also that all of that healthy thought habit patterns, there's all kinds of research that indicates that in and of itself leads to better health, positive thinking.
Oh yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It will lower your blood sugar level, the less stressed you are. I have, I have a new boyfriend. He's a type 1 diabetic, and he never thought he would date a holistic physician. So we joke about that. He eats kale now. He has a Vitamix blender, and he eats, sugar-free fudge now. Anyways, he started meditating 5 minutes a day, and he didn't even know what the word meditation. He was like, what is it? What is that again? I'm like, meditate. He's like, well, what do you do? Right? So now he sits still for 5 minutes and he goes, I hate to admit this to you, but my sugar levels are better. Yeah. So, anything else on the chat room? Should we take a chat room break?
Yeah, I'm just looking in at, people talk. We have a comment about learning from our failures, or the word failures is a tricky one. Mistakes, how useful that can be.
Yep.
We have, it looks like a joke in the chat room about whether we should immediately write down that we all want a Kavita.
Mojito. This is mojito. This is lime mint.
Mojito Kavita.
My favorite one. So good. And let's see, what's Dex saying now? Dex isn't very happy, but Dex is slow. Dex is always late,
Uh-oh.
Okay,
so what do we have for E?
Okay, so E is kind of like the first E. The first E was what? It's your test.
Oh my God, I'm failing my test. No. I completely forget. I'm gonna check my blood sugar because I'm just blanking. Maybe it's because I've been put on the spot.
That could be, and you have a video on your face. What was B? What was B? What was B? Do you remember B?
Is all that's coming to my mind now.
Baby steps.
It was blood sugar. No, it wasn't. It was baby steps.
Baby steps. Right.
Baby steps.
And what do babies do when they walk? Or they try to walk?
Expect failure.
Yes, exactly. And what's A?
Where's my brain? Oh, A was about support.
Yes, accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Jody, I don't know where my brain is right now, but
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, as you're reminding me, I'm remembering everything that you just said that we just spent all this time talking about.
That's okay. It's okay. And then, of course, W is what we just talked about.
What do you want?
Amen. Okay, and now, so this E is just expect less of yourself. It's kind of like expect and perfect. It's kind of like the baby step formula. It's like, just don't expect perfection tomorrow. Expect less. So some people are like, I want to eat perfectly. I'm like, A, I don't even know what that means. And B, that sounds way too intense. Like, how about have I emailed you, I have the most amazing flax muffin recipe. I have this flax muffin for breakfast every single morning. It is delicious. And so expect less could be like, no, don't overhaul all of your eating. Just eat a healthy flax muffin for breakfast every morning this week. I'll email it to you if you can put it on 2 Diabetes. It is basically you put everything in a coffee mug, and the bulk of it is ground flax seeds and an egg. That's the bulk of it. So you put 1/4 of a cup of ground flax seeds in a coffee cup, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. I put some powdered stevia in there, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, because you want to make it puff up, right? So those are your dry ingredients. Then you put some melted coconut oil or butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, and an egg. So the bulk of it is egg and flaxseed, right? But then you put vanilla in, you put butter in, you put cinnamon, stevia, and you mix all that up, and you put it in a microwave, and it becomes a muffin, like that. It's so good.
Magic coffee cup muffin.
It's magic coffee cup muffin. It's delicious. And it has like one unit. I take one, there's carbs in the flax seeds, and that's about it. But there's some protein and fat. But you want to not overcook it. If you overcook it, it will be too dry. So every microwave is different. So anywhere from like 40 to 50 seconds, and then you can change it up. Sometimes you put just put like an inch of a banana and cut that inch into like 8 little pieces. And then you mix those in, and then the banana gets all gooey through the muffin. That's a good one. You could put chocolate chips in it. You could put blueberries in it. You could put nuts in it. My latest one that is delicious is a tablespoon of raw cocoa, and a tablespoon of ground coffee beans. So then it becomes like a mocha muffin. But it is so... Yeah, I get so excited about this muffin. I always end up somehow bringing into every lecture I give. So it's so good. And my Kavita. But normally I'm not always on video. So it's not as
so can you please do send me that recipe, and I can post it on 2 Diabetes. Yeah. Folks in the chat room are already saying that sounds delicious, and it's amazing how easy it is. So this is a strategy to make an easy, healthy breakfast. Do you find that a lot of folks struggle with breakfast?
Not when they work with me. Everybody loves the muffin, and we just change it up. We make it a mocha muffin, we make it a blueberry muffin, we make it a banana muffin. It takes like 2 minutes. Or eggs. I'm a big fan of hard-boiled eggs. I'm a big fan of scrambled eggs, egg frittata. You can make a bunch of eggs and saute veggies and then pour them into a muffin pan, and then you have little egg muffins, and you can heat them up at work. You can eat them cold, maybe, But then there's always nuts. I'm a big fan of just also, if you're not hungry, I don't care if you eat breakfast. Trust your body. Trust your body. Don't force yourself to eat. Have a bunch of hot water with lemon. Like, I'm a big fan of hot water and lemon in the morning. It helps kind of the digestion. It gives you Google benefits of hot water and lemon. There's tons of them. But just trust your body. You don't have to eat breakfast if you're like, I hate eating breakfast. Okay, fine. Don't eat it eat breakfast whenever you're hungry. But there's a lot of good like whey protein powder shakes. I'm a huge protein-based breakfast person for everybody. I don't care if you have diabetes or not, but nobody should be starting their day with 60 or 70 grams of carbs. It's just everybody's sugar level will spike up. Even non-diabetics will spike up. And then it comes down. What goes up must come down. So then they'll have headaches. Then they'll be moody. Then they'll want a mocha. Then they'll want more sugar, So, yeah, you got to start your day with fiber, protein, stuff like that. Do you struggle with breakfast, Emily?
I do.
Why?
Because I frequently, since I don't feel that well a lot of the time in the morning, I I don't feel hungry, as you
Yep.
say,
Yep.
until the moment, I don't feel hungry until the moment when I feel so ravenous that I'm desperate. And at that point, then I don't have food ready because 2 seconds ago, I was really not at all hungry and interested in food. So yeah, mornings are a tough one.
You know what you can do is put everything for the muffin in the cup.
Mm-hmm. Have
And
it
then,
already?
yeah. And then it takes 45 seconds. So that's what I do, because I just am in a habit. I wake up, I get hot water ready, I put lemon in my hot water, and I make my muffin. But sometimes I'm hungry and sometimes I'm not. So, but the muffin's ready. And then whenever I'm ready, then I cook the muffin. Sometimes as soon as I wake up, sometimes 2 hours later. Yeah. Or I think it's always good to have hard-boiled eggs on hand.
Mm-hmm.
You could just, or a big bag of nuts. Like I buy a lot of nuts in bulk, and then I get lots of little Ziplocs, and then put like handful of nuts, handful of nuts, handful of nuts. And then I have a whole, like just grab a baggie of nuts. That's a good one too.
So it seems like a lot of what you do is all about strategizing. If this is something that I struggle with, how do I sort of prepare for the best possibility of success with it? I have a strategy to make it as easy as possible to succeed at this thing that I want to do, or to get through the morning in a healthy way if I struggle to get through the morning feeling good.
Yes, that's what I do. That's absolutely what I do. There's so much information out there. We don't need more information. We need inspiration. We need support. I'm not going to, we need help carrying things out. Doctors, that's why I feel like what I do, I don't know anybody around the country that does what I do. I'm available a phone call away. I understand diabetes. I work with you for 3 months on many levels, because all these little individual appointments here and there, I haven't seen work to really help people get the health and vibrancy that they desire. It's frustrating to go to the doctor and then they're late, or then you have to pay $20 to park, or then they don't understand diabetes and they see a 200 and they say, "What chocolate did you eat?" And I'm like, I ate nothing, but I just provide a really comprehensive wellness program on many levels that I don't know anybody else in the country that's doing what I do. So I love it. And I get so excited when I meet new patients, and I get so happy that they found me,
That's fantastic. Jody, we still have a bunch more of the word awesome, and I'm checking the time. We only have 15 more minutes, so we have to cruise through.
Okay. So baby steps, expect imperfection, accountability, know what you want, expect less of yourself. S is a dollar sign. S is about investing the time and money in yourself. So I've tried to help people for free, and they blow me off, right? They don't make the call. They won't go to do the, when you put your money where your priorities are. You put money on what you prioritize. You buy things at the grocery store because those are the things you want. You don't buy the other ones because you don't want them, right? So when you put money towards something, you will take it more seriously because you just express that you value this. This is important to me. So that's an important piece. But also the time. My program is 3 months, and most patients work with me and extend longer. So if you want to, be fit by tomorrow, you're not investing enough time in the process. So you have to invest the time. That's why I like the 3 months, because beeping at me, because it allows you to take a break. Like if people come to me like, I have to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. And I'll be like, that's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. It's, what are you going to just do, a water fast? You want me to hold your hand while you drink water for 10 days? I mean, we need to get, the more time you give yourself, the more you can be like, I can do this. I can do this. There's no pressure. So that's S, or dollar sign, is invest time and money. O is know your obstacles. Is your obstacle breakfast? Is your obstacle Friday nights when you don't have any plans and you're home alone? Is your obstacle alcohol? Is your obstacle your family? You know, is your obstacle your own reactionary self? You know, and then we're like, okay, so you gave me your obstacle of breakfast and I gave you a solution, you know? So I have my patients tell me what their obstacles are, and then we come up with a solution. So know the obstacles, right? Because if you never told me that breakfast was challenging for you, breakfast would probably continue to be challenging for you because I never knew and you didn't mention it. So we have to speak out our obstacles and then come up with a plan. So that's O. Okay, 2 more. M is mirror. So if write out what you want, post it on your mirror, read it every day. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want. People, so I just had a patient in here in my office yesterday, and she's like, I want to lose 30 pounds. And I said, okay, well, when do you want to start going, you know, exercising? Oh, I hate exercise. And I said, well, what you want and what you're doing are not in alignment, right? And so I convinced her, actually, she scheduled a personal training appointment for today. That reminds me, I need to email her. And she's like, I hate going to the gym. I hate going to the gym. And I said, okay, why are you going to the gym? Because I want to lose weight. I want to feel better. I want to be healthy for my grandchildren. And I said, okay, I want you to write all those wants on your mirror. I want to feel healthy. I want to have a great life. I want to be proud of myself. Because every time you're going to go to the gym, you're going to think, I hate the gym. But the more you read what you want, the more you'll be able to go to the gym and be like, wait a minute, I want to feel healthy. And then you'll get to the point one day where you're like, I want to go to the gym, you know. Now, I know Oprah herself has never gotten there, but maybe because she hasn't hired me. But anyway. But you got to be clear on what you want and think about it and think about it and think about it, because we all know what we don't want and we think about that way too much. So I have people put positive things on their mirror or at their desk, but then also you have to write down what you're going to do. I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water today. 8 water, or you just put a note water. You put a picture of water. You put, you know, because we talk every week on what baby steps they're going to do that week. But it's really easy to be inspired when people talk to me and then already, you know, by the next day they forgot. Oh wait, what was I supposed to do this week? So write out your I'm going to New York plan, right? But then write buy ticket, right? That you got to do that. You got to buy the ticket. So you got to be clear on what the big one is and the steps to get there. So that's part A of mirror. And part B of mirror is believe that this is possible. Believe that I can feel great and I can have an A1C of 6 and I can feel great in my body. Believe that. Believe that. Know that's possible. You know, there's enough amazing transformation stories out there in terms of mental health, physical health, diabetes health. I mean, people that were down and out and now we're doing great, that it's possible for you too, you know? So I work on people if they don't have the belief system to get that in place. Because it's hard to go somewhere if you don't believe you can get there.
Absolutely, and I think with diabetes in particular, that can be so challenging, because if we have this story in our mind that, you know, well, I have diabetes and I'm always going to have diabetes, so this is always going to be sort of a weight on me. It's not curable, and therefore I'm always going to feel crappy, for example, or therefore I'm always going to struggle with food. I think it's really easy to create that belief system because diabetes is chronic. And so then breaking that down and trying to change it into, no, I believe that I'm going to figure this out and get to a place where I feel really good or where I don't struggle with food. That to me seems like incredibly important and also potentially really, really challenging to achieve.
Well, again, it's a process. That's why I work with patients for 3 months or more, because I just, you know, we're just whittling away at creating a new path, creating a new belief system, really. My analogy, I love analogies, is imagine you're in the woods and you've gone down this path 100 million times. It winds around and then you fall off a cliff. And you could walk down the path with your eyes closed because you've gone down that path so many times. It's so easy. It doesn't really take you any energy to walk down that path because it's totally clear. It's open. You know every corner. It's like you're just completely off in la la land walking it, and then you fall off the cliff, right? You hurt yourself every time. But now you don't want to keep falling off the cliff, right? So you have to get some tools. You got to get, I don't know, all the weed whacker things and I'm not a gardener. What are the you have a path over here that you're making. I can't think of the tools, like these tools.
A machete. I'm not a gardener either. Snippers and cutters.
Yeah, snippers and cutters. You need some snippers and cutters. Maybe a shovel. I've been doing all this house stuff, so I'm thinking screwdriver, pliers. I'm like, no, you don't need screwdriver and pliers. Snow shovel. No, it's snowing outside, not a shovel. Anyways, you need to get your tools. It takes a lot more energy to go down this path, but it's a beautiful path. On the other end of the path, it's like, oh, I feel good. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. So I help people make that transition. So the transition here, it's like, no, actually, it's going to take a lot of energy to go down this path because this path doesn't take any energy. You know it. But the less you go down that one, the more it grows over. And it grows over. Just let me help you. Keep going this way. Keep using your tools. Build, clear it, build, clear it. And this is a process. This has to be cleared, and this has to be grown over. But that's exactly what's going on in the brain. Our neurons create pathways. That's why when you were in driver's ed, you're like, because that pathway wasn't built yet. But now it's like, I'm doing my shot, I'm testing, I'm driving with my knee, because I don't really do that. But the more we do something, then it becomes automatic. But we have to be willing to get to the place of automatic. And this old path that you don't like, that you don't feel good, is really easy, but it doesn't feel good. So this new path takes support and energy and all of the formula, everything, baby steps. Expect to fail. Expect to occasionally go back on this path and then have me remind you, no, go here. Have accountability. Know that you want to go on this path. Expect less of yourself. Invest in yourself. Don't give up that you haven't gotten the path cleared in 2 days. Invest time. Put money towards it. Have people help you. Don't try to do it by yourself, right? Know your obstacle. Your obstacle is that, you work too hard and then you get tired and then you give up. Okay, well, don't do that. So all the principles are what help you make a new path. And then the last one, as I'm sure is a shocker, is excitement. And I help you do that because we don't want to get excited. And if you're gonna plan a trip, you don't have to wait to get excited till you get there. You're like, I'm so excited. I'm on a trip. I'm planning a trip, right? So that's part of the journey, is finding what you're excited for along the way. So you're excited that your A1C is 8 now and not 9. Your goal is still 6, but let's get excited for everything along the way. So that's what the last E is.
I love it. We have folks in the chat room are talking about how much we love the path analogy, and what a great way that is to see that change in the mind. And it's true. It is an actual literal path.
Yeah, it is.
What the neurons do. And I think that's also a great reminder to us in trying to make habit changes, that it's another way to understand why it can't happen overnight, why I can't just get up tomorrow and do something completely different and then continue to do that for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
The path isn't cleared yet. And it's a really beautiful analogy.
Yeah, so we have to have the accountability and the investment. Accountability, I can do this. And accountability, the mirror, I see this, I want this, I know what I want. I've hired Dr. Jody, I know, I have the accountability, or whoever you work with, And even my biggest priority right now is I meditate. My ideal self meditates twice a day. Right now, I'm okay with even once a day. My ideal self wants at least 30 minutes once a day. But right now, if I get 5 minutes once a day, like, because every day I'm like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I stayed up too late. Oh, I woke up too late. Oh, I don't have time, you know, and I'm like, okay, I always have 5 minutes before I go to bed. Even if I'm laying down, I set my phone 5 minutes and I go, okay, just think about gratitude, think about relaxation for 5 minutes. And then my phone rings and then I turn the light off and then I'll go to bed. So, but it's going to take me a while to get to, oh, I just meditate every day. I just, you know, I do 30 minutes at night and I just, this is what I do. I'm not there yet.
Part of your day, automatically.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. Yeah.
So you're forging a path yourself.
Yes, exactly. Picking up my tools, clearing my path. Picking up my tools, clearing my path. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Nice. Well, Dr. Jody, we are pretty much out of time. This was fantastic. Thank you so much. These are great tools that you shared with us. And again, for folks who are interested in engaging Dr. Jody herself for some of her services around creating wonderful, healthy, happy habits.
Yes.
Her name is Dr. Jody Stanislaw. And Jody, your website is Dr. Jody?
It's DRJODYND.
ND.
The last two letters are naturopathic doctor, so ND. But they can also just sign up with consult with drjody.com/type1. And that actually, even if you're not type 1, it's fine. But that one will take you directly to my calendar to sign up for a complimentary call. And then you'll also get the application to fill out to have a call. So, but yeah, I have a newsletter. If you sign up I have a little freebie on my website that says, you know, learn the secrets that high energy people use to feel great. And when you sign up for that, you're added to my newsletter. And then, so you can go to my website, you can go to consultwithdrjody.com, /type1. And yeah, and if you Google my name, I guarantee you there's no other Dr. Jody Stanislaw. You'll see a ton of stuff, like recordings I've done and interviews I've done, and yeah, but there's no other Dr. Jody Stanislaw who's a diabetic, who's a naturopath, who's online.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be weird.
That would be a crazy coincidence.
I'm so glad my name's not like, you know, like, I don't know, John Johnson. That would be tough.
We would never find you.
You Google me and you're like, I didn't know she was a rapper.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today, Jody, and Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to those of you who are watching.
Yes, and if you want to have a call, you know, to talk about what you want to, you know, your
about my breakfast.
Call me. Yeah, let's have a chat.
Okay. We'll talk about my challenge with breakfast.
Yeah, I'll send you that flax muffin too. Recipe.
Oh yeah, and I'll post it on 2Diabetes.
Okay, great.
Everybody can see it.
Okay, good.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a great evening.
Thanks. You too, and everybody else. Bye.
Bye.